Hey everybody, I got another voiceover here for you. This is me and one of my students, KJ. He's a wrestler, big strong guy, strong legs, strong hips. And right here you can see I'm playing guard. I'm trying to convince him to come in. He tries to throw a little knee cut here, and I get to an underhook and a lower leg shift. He's trying to stiff arm, so I shuck him off there. Start going into my seatbelt. I look for a hook, but he keeps his hips strong. I can't break him down, so I start sliding off. So I take my hook out. I decide to throw it over his arm so I can start with a trapped arm. And as he pulls his arm out, that's what allows me to break him down. And as I'm getting the back, I start throwing my choke on. And here it's easy for me to peel his hand off and start throwing my strangle. And what you can see with my left leg there is I put it behind his leg. And that's so I can keep him facing the right direction. If he's able to start turning his back towards the mat, he can loosen up the strangle. So it's important that I keep a proper chest to back relationship when I'm going into my strangles. Here you see me just kind of shooting in, sloppy. I'm not really trying to get the takedowns. I'm just trying to make a connection. I'm trying to get jiu-jitsu started. He starts going behind me, and here I'm going to start playing a somersault and try to get to his legs, and I think he feels it, which is why he backs off here. And so I'm able to kind of just sit through. He goes to side control, but he drops his hip here, which allows me to get my elbow inside, and I'm able to frame his hips low, stiff arm, hip escape, and get my bottom knee in. And I go straight into a clamp guard. See what I do here with my right leg? I bring my right leg high. I trap his left arm, and now I start bringing my left knee into the pocket. And that's easy for me to throw my leg over to the triangle because my leg's always going to be stronger than his hand there. I want to keep his head low. Again, he's a super strong, explosive wrestler. So my goal is to obviously cross his elbow. I keep his head low, and you see that angle I hit there. The whole goal of that angle is to get his shoulder out of the strangle. He has big, strong shoulders. I need to take his shoulder out of the lock. So I create a little angle, get my left leg on a better cross across the back of his neck, and I can get an easier lock there. I have shorter, thicker legs, and so when I get my full triangle lock, it's pretty much over. Here again, I'm moving forward, trying to convince him to play jiu-jitsu. He likes to do explosive passes, explosive knee cuts, explosive mounts. Here he goes into a big mount attack. I'm able to keep a kind of almost a single leg X position and sweep him. And I start coming up on top. And here when I start to pass, you'll see me do something pretty cool. I step on his foot here. And now what I'm going to do, I slowed it down so you can see it. I crash my forehead to his far shoulder. I hug his leg, and then I grab his foot because I know that's the knee that he's going to try to bring back inside to recover his guard. So I'm able to pin that foot to the mat, work myself into my side control, and here I like to hug the hip. And right now I'm working to a darce. I'm using my hips to bring his arm across, and he feels it. So he bellies out, goes to his wrestling, and I throw a guillotine. He's using his left hand here to stop the guillotine, so that gives me the easiest sweep ever. And right here, something really cool happens. His elbow's on the inside, so if I want to pass and maintain it, I got to get my knee inside his elbow. That offers me shoelace control on the thigh, so I'm able to use that to get straight to my mount. It's really important that I beat that elbow there. And now I want to expose his arm, so I do a double wrist pin, and that makes him turn to respect the Americana potential, and that gives me my armbar lock here. Right there, I go straight to the wrist, use kind of a Americana style separation, and I'm able to get my finish. And so here again, I'm just trying to convince him to play jiu-jitsu, so I'm moving forward, being kind of open, showing him options for passes. My elbows are wide, my legs are getting straight. I'm just kind of trying to offer him options so he gets inside. Here he's trying to play front headlocks, and watch, I pin his wrist, and that gives me the ability for head height. Once I get head height, I go into a little front headlock position. I take my knee behind his elbow, and I try to play crucifix here. He does almost a somersault, and so I was going to roll through with him, but then he stopped. So I posted on my head, backed off a little bit, threw my left hook in, and watch what I do with my right foot here. I extend his leg out, and that offers me this hook really easily. As we go here, he's going to try to belly out real hard, so I just take the strangle, and watch me what I do with my left foot here. Boom. I put it behind his hip so he cannot rotate. He's stuck there in the strangle. Taylor's finger gets in the camera here a little bit, and I'm able to get my finish. So here again, I'm playing. I want him to enter and play some jiu-jitsu. So he hops right into side control. I make some space. I'm going to start turtling, and here I recover guard right into a top lock. I love that sequence. So now I'm playing top lock. Watch, he tries to rip out here. And this, I did a video about this recently. He tries to rip out and I'm able to hold it. Where I lose it here is I bring my left foot over his shoulder and start trying to play reverse triangles. And I gave him a little too much space between my hips and his tricep. And like I said, he's an explosive, strong man. So he's able to pull out of that. Now there I do a little head outside single crackback, a little shuck bypass straight to mount. And I already expose his elbow with my right arm here. Slide right up to S, mount, and then I throw over for my cross arm bar. I punch the elbow, keep pressing the elbow, and here I'm able to get my finish. The round's going to end here in a second. We have a little bonus minute and a half or so with Skylar and our resident black belt here coming up. So that was a super fun round. Had a good time with KJ. And here we go right here. Skylar and Ryan. Ryan is a black belt on top, big, strong, probably 230 pounds, 6'4" or whatever he is guy. And he has long arms, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Here he went for a body lock, but Skylar has his feet on the hips, which is not a great time to go body lock, because as you can see, Skylar starts to play a version of clamp guard. Once Skylar gets his right knee up in the pocket, it's kind of difficult to stop the triangle, especially with long arms. Once somebody gets inside position on you, you're kind of in a bad spot. So Skylar starts to lock this triangle up, and then here what he does is something really cool. He's going to take his left arm and go underhook grip on Ryan's right arm, because Ryan's right arm is wrapped around his hip, and he starts to attack a straight arm bar, which was one of my favorite sequences from here. And I'm actually really surprised that didn't catch Ryan already. So Skylar uses his back, starts to straighten the arm here, and you start to see Ryan's not able to keep that grip. And so Ryan tries to do a pressure style big man pass there, and he puts himself on the right angle for the triangle. And then here his nose actually starts to bleed. You'll see a couple drops come up. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the round. Ryan starts to kind of smash here in a second and gets a little pass going. But once the blood starts, he decides to go plug his nose with a tissue. And he comes back, but that'll be the end of the round, end of the video. I hope you really like what you saw there. Like, subscribe if you haven't. And if you have any questions or comments, throw it down in the comment section. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.